Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 3 of the Earth Wisdom Experience. It's lovely to see you here today, and we are talking transformation, embodying the change. And it's amazing, isn't it? The synchronicities that happen in life, because I planned to do this on the full moon. And then I looked into what sign the full moon was and what type of full moon it was the other day, and I'd already set that it was on transformation, and it was amazing how it always works like this, the synchronicities, because it's a wolf moon in Cancer, and a wolf moon in Cancer is about nurturing, it's about intuition, it's about profound emotional shifts. And the two things, the cat, first of all, in Cancer and it being a wolf moon, are all about these things. They're all about transformation. They're all about focusing on rediscovering that inner sanctuary. So it tied in perfectly with what we're talking about today. So really lovely how nature does that. Always makes me smile. It was so amazing. We finished at the end of December the 12-month Plant Wisdom Mentorship Program. And it was incredible because I'd planned all the trees and plants over the year, and the synchronicities that came up from it were amazing with what was happening, that I hadn't actually, there were some synchronicities that I hadn't realized. And then when I started to look into it all, I just got blown away by the magic of intuition and the magic of the earth. And when we open up to that, just the wisdom that can flow through that is beyond us, that's just so remarkable. So we're going to get started right now into this. But first of all, I want to ask you a question. Please do type it in the chat, whether you're watching on Facebook or watching via the Zoom or the replay. What does transformation mean to you? What does transformation mean to you? Do type it into the chat. What does it mean to you, the word transformation? Positive change. Yep, brilliant. What else we got? Changing. Okay, great. So transformation means changing, positive change. Any other? Growth. Yep. Evolving, growing. So if we are transforming, if we're in this state of really embodying the change, so the first day we looked at healing, we looked at how we could work with the earth to bring about healing, to bring us back into that alignment. Yesterday we looked at manifestation, how from being in that alignment and connecting with our heart and connecting with the earth, we could utilize the energy of the earth to give us that strength and that energy in that aligned space to create and manifest those things that we wanted to manifest. Now today we've got the healing, we're in balance, we've got the manifestation, we know what we want to bring in, and now we have to allow that transformation to happen within our being. So someone said assimilating experiences, learning and growing, learning new skills and evolving knowledge. Exactly. So we've had all this knowledge come in, we've had these, we know where we want to go, we've seen the yellow brick road that we're on, and we've seen the path we're on, but now we have to allow the new in. Someone said shedding old skin and re-emerging, revitalized and renewed, a fresh start and developing from the old. Exciting stuff. It's exactly right. This transformation, and again, it's so apt that we're talking about transformation as we're about to move into the Chinese Year of the Snake, which is all about shedding skin. It's about letting go. So right now, today, in the UK, I think it's about 10:30 p.m. The wolf moon in Cancer comes in. So Cancer is a water sign, it's ruled by the moon, and it's about making time to sit with our emotions. It's about that deep introspection. And the wolf moon traditionally is associated with this calling out, with seeking connection and expressing your needs. If you think about the wolf howling at the full moon, the wolf is calling in all of its tribe to him. The wolf can be very solitary as well, but also needs that connection. So we've got the need for independence, but also the need for connection. And this is so important. When we look at cancer, again, we're looking at things like the home. It's very much about family, solid emotional foundations. And this can very much tie into ancestral healing, grounding, and really finding that inner space, that inner sanctuary, that heart space we were talking about yesterday and the day before. And yesterday we were talking about following the cycles of nature, so looking at what's happening. So with the full moon, this is about releasing old patterns, what no longer serves you, like this, the snake shedding the skin. What do you want to get rid of? What do you want to shed? And through that shedding, opening the door to profound inner transformation. So I've got a question for you. What do you want to shed? What skin do you want to let go of now? It's the full moon. We're releasing. What do you want to let go of? What skin are you going to go, you know what? I'm going to throw you in the fire. You no longer serve me. So what are you shedding? Please do type in the chat. What do you want to shed right now? Self-doubt. I love it. I've got some incense here. This is some sage and some lavender. So for each thing we want to shed, I'm going to throw some of this into the fire so you can let go. So Faye, here we go. Self-doubt is going in the fire. Woohoo! Who else? So another one. Becky, we're going to shed some self-doubt for you. Ready? Woohoo! Who else is shedding something? What do you want to shed? And we'll throw it in the fire. Let's move over a little bit so you can see those flames. What do you want to shed? Negativity. That's it. Okay, Sally, here's your negativity. It's going in the fire. and those herbs are sending the smoke up into the atmosphere. So we're letting go of it. We're handing it back to Mother Earth. Louise, here goes your procrastination. It's gone. What else do we want to shed? Lack of trust and faith. Okay, Sarah, you ready? Lack of trust and faith is going in. Okay, we've got self-doubt, procrastination, and extra body weight. Okay, Judith, this is a big one. Ready? We've got the self-doubt, procrastination, extra body weight. It's going, gone. Okay, exhaustion. Let's throw some exhaustion on there. There we go. We've got limiting beliefs. Let's get rid of these limiting beliefs. Anyone else want to shed anything? I'm going to shed my not being good enough. There it is, and it's going. Not being good enough has gone into the fire. So I made light of this, you know, throwing it in the fire, but it's such an important thing. The fire, the flames can transmute so much. Flames, you know, there's the saying, isn't there, about the phoenix rising up through the ashes of the fire, and so much can come through the ashes, so much can come through the fire. It is a space of transformation, and that transformation, that change, doesn't have to be serious. You know, we can have fun with this. Sometimes we think that spiritual work has to be really serious, and there are some elements that do, but it can be light, it can be fun, we can bring joy into it. You know, for me, one of the main lessons that the earth teaches me is joy. Find the joy. Where's the joy? Because a life without joy is pretty boring, isn't it? So when we're letting go, when we're shedding, we're making ourselves lighter. We're releasing, we're letting it off us. We're taking off that backpack that we've been carrying around with all those stones. We're shedding those layers. We're taking off the clothes that no longer serve us, the identity that we've put on. Because this is what transformation is about, isn't it? We put on identities, we put on hats or masks because we feel we need to for our safety or for the safety of others or to keep others pleased. So we put on these different hats and we pretend, out of generally love or fear, to be something we're not. And for me, the biggest lesson of transformation of the earth is coming back to who you really are. Because we spend so much time believing we're all these other things, do we actually know who we are? Who here feels that they know who they are? Yes, I know who I am. This is who I am. Anyone know who they are? Few people? Anyone not know who they are? A few people? So whether we know or we don't know, or maybe we have shades of knowing, it's a rediscovery all the time. This is what transformation for me is about. A big part of it is going, I change in every moment. My cells are changing in every moment. And so if my cells are changing in every moment, maybe what I like, maybe what I find brings me joy, maybe my ideas are changing. But what happens in life is we become really myopic in our vision. We become tunneled visioned and we go, well, this is who I am. This is who I was. So this is who I always will be. This is what I liked and this is what I don't like. But do we take the time to go, do I still not like that? It's like food. Have you ever, for me, coriander was one. I hated it for years, absolutely hated it. Thought it tasted like soap. And then I tried it again, probably about 15 years ago, and I went, oh my God, I love this. This is incredible. Now, I could have been fixed in my mind and gone, I hate coriander. It tastes like soap, and never tried it again. Then I'd be missing out on a whole amazing culinary feast. But not only that, coriander is incredible for slowly removing heavy metals from the body. And that's actually why I tried it again, because I was like, you know what, this is really good for removing heavy metals. I'm just going to see if I like it. And I did. And so that's such an exciting thing. So one of the things to bear in mind is we do change. Our taste buds change. Our cells change. We have different experiences which change who we are. And so if we keep on these clothes, this outfit of this is Juliette from 1996 and this is who I still am, well, that's not who I am. That was when I first graduated high school. I'm definitely not that person. There are elements of me, but it's this re-evaluation. Someone said they're learning who they are now. And someone else said, what was that? It's just moved so much more than I ever have knowing who they are. So whether you know or not, it is this exploration which can be done in joy. But part of it, part of transformation is making space. If you've got a garden and you've got a veg bed, and this veg bed is filled with weeds. Okay, now I love weeds, but I don't necessarily want them all in my veg bed because I want to be able to grow other things. So if you've got this bed that's filled up with weeds and you want to plant some stuff, you want to bring in new experiences, well, how can you if it's full? So what we have to do is we have to make space, and then we have to consciously choose. And this is such an important aspect of transformation. So has anyone here given up something and said, I'm not doing that again, and then failed? Anyone done that? So whether you're giving up cigarettes or alcohol or bread or coffee, anyone given something up and gone, I'm not going to do that anymore. Usually it's a New Year's resolution and it lasts about a week or 10 days and then it goes out the window because you need that coffee or whatever it is. Anyone experienced that before? Now, if you go, okay, I am going to cut out coffee. What are your reasons? This is really important part of transformation. Why do you want to cut out that coffee? Why don't you want to have it anymore? What are your reasons for cutting it out? And it can't just be because it's good for me to cut it out. You have to have deeper reasons, because when you then have those reasons, you write them out. It's like, okay, coffee is going because it puts a strain on my adrenals. I don't want to feel that stress. What it's actually doing to my body is X, Y, and Z. Okay, so we have the reasons, we have what we want to do, and then we have to have a third column. What am I going to replace it with? And this is such an important part of transformation. Where are we going to? What do we want to bring in instead? And this is like the manifestation. Where is this evolution taking us? Someone said, I've given up sugar, then started having it again. Yes, sugar is one of those ones that always creeps in. It's such a an easy one to creep back in. And part of the reason it creeps back in is because of the bad bacteria and the parasites. So if you cut it out and you do a parasite cleanse and a detox at the same time, it's much less likely to come back in because you've got rid of the imbalance that's causing you to crave the sugar in the first place. But we go, okay, we're cutting out coffee. So instead of having a coffee, I'm going to make in the morning, in a beautiful ritual way, how I make my coffee, something different that fills me with the same feeling of nourishment, of care, of self-love that that coffee does. Because then you have a plan and you're so much more likely to succeed in that process. So I've asked you what you want to get rid of. A few people have joined since I asked that question. So if you haven't answered it, what do you want to shed? What skin do you want to let go of? Please think about that for the people who have just come on and started watching. What skin do you want to shed on this Wolf Cancer full moon? So whilst people are thinking about that, have just come on, the wolf, when we look at the wolf itself, the wolf archetype is very much about instincts. It's about intuition. It's about this strong connection to nature. And so it really aligns perfectly with this earth wisdom experience you're going through, because the wolf represents this balance between independence and community. So it really echoes this transformative journey where we have to find our strength for ourselves, but also through connection and self-reflection. And like we talked yesterday about the bees, you know, those beautiful bees who are co-creating. Whilst they're manifesting, they're co-creating. And the wolf has a similar thing. It comes into its own strength, its own power, but then it finds its tribe. It calls its tribe in so that it can have then that communal strength. So such a beautiful thing to be thinking about. This, I think, is one of the most important lessons for us all. At the moment, we need to come into community. We need to come into this connection, but not a connection where we lose ourselves. Has anyone had that experience where they get into a relationship or make a new friend and suddenly they kind of lose themselves in it? And they just start doing what the other person wants or being how the other person wants them to be instead of standing strong in their own self. Anyone had that experience before? A few nods. So the wolf is calling us to stand in our own strength, in that connection to the earth, so that we don't then give up our identity. Okay. We've got Lisa is saying low self-confidence. Lisa, I'm going to shed your low self-confidence. We're going to let it go in the fire. We've also said Julia saying, I'm shedding the extra body weight this way and changing the way I eat and drink. Okay, here we go, Julia. This is for you. That extra body weight is going in the fire. Such a beautiful thing to be able to release. I really love it. You know, you can write things out on paper and burn them in the fire. You can put the incense into the fire. You can release it through the flames, and it's such a beautiful thing. Okay. So the wolf is really calling us into this connection and this self-reflection, and that's such a beautiful thing. And the Cancer energy of this full moon is very much that nurturing, protective energy. So it's telling us we're safe to transform. It's safe for us to be in this space, to open up to the new layers, to the new depths of our being. And this is such an important place to be, in that knowing we're safe, knowing we're held. In birth, there's a point of childbirth, and this happens in animals and humans, where you're in labor and you get to this point, and if you don't feel safe, for example, if you were out in the wilds and a lion was about to attack, your body could switch off labor. So you didn't give birth in that moment. And so at this point, this transition, we have choices. If we don't feel safe, we hold, we go into a holding space until we feel safe. Now, one of the things with transformation is most people don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in their environment. They don't feel safe in their bodies. They don't feel safe in life. And so if we don't feel safe, what happens is we go into a holding pattern. Anyone here feel like they're in a holding pattern? Yeah? So, how can we change that? How can we get out of being in a holding pattern into a space where we are aligned and connected? So, we talked about that first on the first day, that alignment. We need to get into that aligned space where we're feeling held by the earth, we're being held by the cosmos. If you look at the kind of any of the when we call in the elements, when we call in the directions, whether it's pagan, Celtic, Native American, when you call in the elements, you call in Mother Earth to hold you in that love, that unconditional love. But then also you call in Father Sky. So you call in the divine feminine, the divine masculine, because the divine masculine's role, whether it's energetically within us, whether it's the divine masculine collectively, the divine masculine's role is to hold space, to create a sacred space around us so that we are being held. So if you look at a lot of the ancient Celtic traditions and practices, the women were quite often the ones who were the channels for the earth. So the women would come together and they would sit and they would go into a trance, and they would, in that space of a trance, connect into the ancestors, connect into the earth. Now, some men did it, but it was mainly the women's role. And what the men's role was to stand around them and make sure that they were safe so that they could go into this space. You can't go deep in your intuition if you don't feel safe. You can't go deep into the earth if you don't feel safe. So how do we make ourselves feel safe? Because this is a huge part of transformation. Well, first of all, smudging our environment. And what I mean by smudging your environment is cleansing your space. Now, this doesn't mean physically you have to clean it. You can definitely do that. But it means creating an energetically clear space. So this can be done in lots of different ways. You can get a lovely spray that has got essential oils and maybe crystals, and you can spray it around your being and just absorb that beautifulness, spray it around your room. You can get incense, like I've been doing in the fire. You can put this into a charcoal burner and you can burn incense. Things like frankincense, myrrh, these are beautiful things to smudge your environment. You can make a massive smudge stick. Look at this smudge stick, it's huge, isn't it? So this is a rosemary smudge stick that we've made. This is to ward off lots of nasty energy. Or you can make, this is a lovely, we've got a sage one here from Sage in Our Garden. This is a mugwort one I've made from my garden. So smudge sticks, you light the end of them and have a little tray or shell underneath it to catch if any ash falls, and you go round and the smoke clears the space. Now, ultimately, when you're cleansing space, it's about intention. So it's about your thoughts. You can go around clapping, you can have singing bowls, you can have bells, you can sing, you can chant, you can laugh. It's that intention that is the most important thing with however you're smudging your area to cleanse the space. So when the space is cleansed, when you've created this sacred space, you've gone around, you smudged it all, you've got rid of any energy that shouldn't be there. That then allows you to go, oh, okay, I can drop into another part of myself. I can release now and allow myself to relax. The next part of this is creating, we've cleared the space, but creating that sacred space. So maybe you want to create a crystal mandala on the floor, or maybe you want to hold a crystal to connect with, or maybe you want to plant. In a lot of the ancient folklores, rosemary was placed at the front and the back door for protection, psychic protection, energetically to protect the space. Sage was as well. So these plants are holding, they're anchoring the space of the home with their energy of protection. So you can do something like that. You could get orgone, you can put crystals around the room. Doesn't really matter what you do, but you want to create an environment where you can feel safe to let go. You can light a candle. So it's that intention that is everything. So we've cleared the space energetically. We've lit a candle and created a beautiful sacred space. You can call in the directions. For me, if I'm doing any work, I'll call in the directions. So I always start with the north. Some traditions start in different places, the north and the earth, and you call the directions in, and then the east and the air, the south and the fire, the west and the water, um, Mother Earth below us, Great Spirit or Father Sky above us, and then the love within. So you call in this space, and then you're really creating this sacred space around you. When you've finished your work, you go backwards and you close it down and give thanks to all of these directions. So you've created this sacred space, and then you're going, okay, I'm going to let go now. I'm ready to release. I'm ready to step into this chrysalis, into this transformation. Now, if you look in nature, there are so many different cases of things that go through this natural life cycle, this transformation. So we have a butterfly that transforms. So the butterfly goes from being a caterpillar into the cocoon, then shedding the cocoon and stepping into this beautiful butterfly. We have the dragonfly. The dragonfly spends 5 years in the water, and then it comes up, and the dragonfly looks nothing like a dragonfly. It's quite nasty looking, in fact. It's quite vicious, eats everything. The dragonfly then comes up out of the water into its chrysalis and sheds its skin and becomes a dragonfly, which is so amazing. But most of its life is not as that dragonfly. And dragonflies are, you know, when you look at them, are a sign of transformation. So if you see lots of dragonflies, that means that transformation is coming. You maybe are in that space of transformation, and the dragonfly is there to support that energy within you and around you. So when we look at nature, we also have, so we've got butterflies, we've got dragonflies, we've got trees. They shed their bark to reveal a new layer. So all of these things are showing us that actually transformation is natural and it's normal. Shedding our skin to step into that new phase. So we've created that sacred space. Another really important part of transformation is looking at bringing our body into alignment. So we talked about healing on day one, but what we need to look at within this is things like our nervous system. If your nervous system is frayed, do you ever feel that it's like all around the edges of your field? We need to calm that down. So working with plants like chamomile or passion flower, these are nervines, lemon balm. So they all calm your nervous system. Because if you're in fight or flight, if you're in this stress space, like I said about that analogy of giving birth, you go into a holding pattern and you cannot change anything from that holding. So you have to let go of the nervous system. You have to calm it down. You have to clear the space so your body can breathe. Another amazing tool within this transformation is breath. Anyone here done any breath work before? And when I'm talking about breath work, I'm not obviously just talking about breathing every day. we all breathe all the time, but this conscious breath work so that we can actually activate different states of being. Our body is very clever. So if we're stressed out, our breath becomes very shallow, like this, doesn't it? So that's a panicked breath. You have like this. So that's your brain work. Your breathing switches from your diaphragm up into your chest. So it's all very shallow breathing. So when you start breathing like this, your body goes, uh-oh, something's wrong. We've got a problem. Now, if you're feeling stressed and you're in that stress state, you can fool your body out of it by changing your breathing. So if you have a longer exhalation to inhalation, this signals to your body that it's all fine. So if you're like relaxing, usually people make sounds like, that letting go. I want you all to try it at home. Just let it all go. I was about to say, I can't hear you louder, but you're all on mute. So I want you to do that all again. Just let everything go with that breath. Ah. How do you feel when you do that? Do you feel lighter? And it's a bit funny, isn't it? Because we start laughing a little bit. But actually, when you start to go, okay, I'm going to breathe in for 4, I'm going to hold my breath for 5, and I'm going to breathe out for 6. So when we start to do this, what you find happens, I just found it, is my shoulders went down on the out breath. My whole body just started to go, okay, we can relax. We can let go. So doing that longer exhalation to inhalation is a brilliant way to switch your body out of fight or flight so that you can work on this transformation, so you can shed the skin, so you can let go and release. And we're going to do a meditation shortly. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. So we talked on the first day about rose quartz and how rose quartz can support us in opening our hearts. We talked yesterday about nettles and that resilience helping us with manifestation. And I want to talk to you today about the birch tree. The birch tree is an amazing tree that symbolizes renewal and resilience. And it's known for being one of the first trees to regrow in cleared land. So when land's cleared, birch trees are often one of the first ones that come up. So birch represents this fresh start. It represents perseverance. It's a ground breaker. So when we are in this space of transformation, we've cleared the land. And now we're stepping into the new is coming up. So if we want to bring in that energy, we can work with the birch tree to help with that transformation. And actually, birch is going to be one of the first trees in the Earth Wisdom Mentorship that starts in a few weeks. So the birch, we're going to be journeying with birch and clear quartz in February, going really deep with those in this transformation, this renewal, bringing in this resilience. When we're looking at crystals, labradorite is one of my favorite crystals. Labradorite is quite a magical stone. It glimmers with blues and greens and yellows. And so you can look into it. And it looks to me a bit like a butterfly's wing sometimes. Just this incredible magic that it has. And labradorite is very much about tapping into that spark of inner magic, about enhancing our intuition, about protecting us during these times of transformation. So as I said, if we feel safe, if we feel held, if we feel protected, we can allow the transformation to happen. So how can we do that? How can we create that space? Well, wearing something on you that's going to support you so that when you hold it or when you think about it, you can remember that you're held and you're safe and you're protected. And with any crystal, we can ask it to help us. This is a beautiful, these are all eye agates. These are Gobi desert stones. And these are another one we're going to be looking at in the mentorship. These are actually not mined, and it's one of the reasons I love these crystals the most. Let me show you guys these. They're super magical. So these stones are raked from the desert sand in the Gobi Desert. So they're not actually mined, and I just think that is super magical. So we're going to be looking at them in April. Along with hawthorn. But for me, when I wear these ones, they remind me that I'm held by the earth. And so when you have a crystal that you want to work with, the first thing you need to do with it, like we said about the space, is you need to clear it. You need to get rid of any negative energy that's in there, anyone else's energy, imprints that are in there. And so let's say you've got a necklace. You've got your new necklace that you want to work with. So you can run it through the flames or the smoke, and the smoke purifies it. You can hold it, and if you do healing energy, you can just call in that healing energy and just pull out any negativity, and then fill it with light. So you can do it like that. Ultimately, it's intention. You can move it over a candle flame. You can put it over incense. So many different ways that you can cleanse. Run it under water. So once you've cleansed this, okay, this is now cleansed. It's like a blank canvas. Then you hold the crystal and you tune into it and you ask it to help you. So let's say you want to go through a transformation. You're ready. You're ready to shed that skin and you want to step into this new phase of yourself. And you want the crystals to help you to feel safe to do that. And what's what you can say? Please, can you help me to feel safe to allow the transformation that's coming to happen for my highest good and the highest good of all those around. So I always say this bit, for my highest good and for the highest good of everyone. Because what happens when you do that is you're always working for that highest intention. And ultimately, that's what we want, the highest intention for us, but we want that for everyone around us. So that we're always in that alignment of the highest frequency possible. So now you've got something that you can have with you, a tool to remind you that you're safe and you're protected. Or maybe it's when you're going into meditation that you put this crystal on, or you sit and hold it so that you feel safe to allow that shifting to occur. Does anyone have any questions so far? If you do, please type them into the chat. Someone said, a lovely gift from Dearest Gaia. Such a beautiful gift. They're beautiful bark flower remedies. Yeah, bark flower remedies are absolutely incredible as well. Amazing tools. You can make your own flower remedies. We'll be learning how to make flower remedies on the Earth Wisdom Mentorship as well. So you can make flower remedies, you can buy them. Healing Hands is my favorite one to buy. They're a type of bark flower remedy, but they're a really beautiful company. So you can buy bark flower remedies to help you release, to help you feel safe, to help support the transformation process. There's bush flower remedies, which are from Australia. You know, there's lots of different flower remedies. And as I said, you can make your own, which is really powerful. So you can connect with the energies of those flowers that you need to bring into your life. So when we're looking at transformation, we're thinking about coming into that alignment, connecting into the earth, feeling the earth underneath us, holding us in that space. We've cleared our space, we've called in the directions, and we're sat really connecting into this feeling of, what does this transformation look like? What do I want to step into? So I want you to take a moment and I want you to type in the chat. We've looked at what we're letting go of. So we know what we want to let go of. Well, what do we want to bring in? What qualities or strengths do we want to embody moving forward? So do type them into the chat. What qualities or strengths do you want to embody moving forward? What qualities and strengths do you want to embody moving forward? Courage and faith in what will be. Positivity, self-worth, love and kindness. Those are beautiful ones. What do we want to embody? Greater inner strength, self-love, steadfast consistency. Brilliant ones. What do you want to bring in? What qualities are you looking to bring in? So really thinking about this, and this is something that you can, of course, come back to and spend more time reflecting on than just these few minutes now. Unwavering authenticity. I love that. Unwavering authenticity. That's brilliant. Self-love, courage, empowerment, trust, expansiveness, rootedness, wild-heartedness. Wow, creative exploration. I love that wild-heartedness. Wow, that's such beautiful words. Amazing. So we've got spiritual expansion, beautiful. So we've got these beautiful words. And in a minute, I want you to hold those words as we have a little journey so you can really feel them. So like we talked about yesterday with manifestation, if we want to transform, we have to feel it. We can write words, but actually feel it. What does it feel like to feel spiritually expansive? We've got faith, trust in my path, authenticity, rested with energy. That's nice. Productive, calm, joy, and success. So in a minute, I want you to really, as I said, feel that. Like with every cell in your body. What does it feel to be wild-hearted? What does it feel to be rested in energy? Whatever the words are that resonate for you. And other words might come when we do the meditation that take you into a deeper space. So allow them to come if they want to. Right, so I invite you just to make yourself comfortable. And just taking a moment to connect with your breath. Feeling the earth underneath you. Feeling the cosmos above you. And feeling yourself held. With each breath, feeling your body relaxing. With each breath, feeling your attention moving deeper into the earth. And with full awareness, with your next in-breath, pulling up the energy of the earth into your body. And as you exhale, releasing any stress or strain into the earth. Breathing in the energy of nourishment, of love from the depths of the earth through every cell in your body. Breathing out and letting it all go. Breathing in that feeling of safety, that feeling of connection. And bringing your awareness now into your heart space. I invite you to picture in your being a desolate landscape of ashes. And these ashes symbolize the old aspects of life that no longer serve you. Different clumps of ashes, all representing different parts that you no longer feel aligned to. Gradually, you start to notice sparks of light. And these sparks of light are like little fireflies. And they begin to emerge out of the ashes. And each spark of light is a quality that you want to bring in with your transformation. whether it's self-worth or inner strength or wild-heartedness or peacefulness, joyfulness, abundance, love, courage, empowerment, strength, rootedness, calmness, success, authenticity, expansion, consistency, strength, love, presence, positivity, kindness. Each spark represents a different quality that you want to bring in. And as you focus on these sparks, they begin to grow into beautiful, vibrant flames. And as these flames grow, out of the flames, you see yourself like a phoenix. And you feel the heat of the fire as it burns away your doubts, your fears, your limitations. And as the phoenix, you begin to open up your wings. You feel them expanding, strong and radiant, and pulling up all of the energy of the fire, all of these qualities into your being. You raise your wings up and lift up into the air, soaring into the sky. And as you soar into the sky, this is the symbol of your transformation, your resilience, your renewal. And as you soar in the sky, you embrace the energy of change as a powerful force of creation and growth. And in this space of the phoenix flying above, with the beautiful expansive wings, beautiful colours moving through your body, in this expansive space of transformation, the phoenix asks you to make an affirmation for this change. I am ready to step into my highest potential, embracing transformation with courage and grace. I am stepping into my highest potential. My highest potential is here now. I embrace transformation with courage and grace. Whatever words, affirmations come to you, and as you soar, as the phoenix, repeating your affirmation as your wings beat through the air and you feel the elements moving around your being. And you feel a power and beauty that is nature. And just allowing yourself to bask in this beautiful space. And giving thanks to the energy of the phoenix and the energy of the fire, the energy of transformation. You slowly bring your awareness back into your heart space. And as you sit in your heart space, you feel all of that energy of strength, all of that energy of courage, the expansiveness of the bird still in your being, still in your cells. And you hold that affirmation in your being. And all of those qualities that you pulled into your being, along with all of those that you shed. And you're invited to take a moment now to see what that transformation looks like on a physical day-to-day level. How does it look, this transformation? How do you act? What's different? And then asking your body, the earth, what tools do you need to support you in this transformation? What tools do you need to support you in this transformation? And when those tools have come to you, giving thanks to yourself and returning your awareness to your breath. And when you're ready, moving your fingers and your toes, opening your eyes, and taking a moment to write down anything that came to you in that journey. And if you would like to share your affirmation or the tools that you need to help you move forward, or any of your experience, then please do type it into the chat. So just taking a minute or two to write down anything that came to you. And then if you would like to share it in the chat, please feel free to. Someone said purple flame spiraling, beautiful. To be more confident and seek help when needed. I already have everything I need. Be patient and calm in the knowing that it is done, and so it is. Beautiful. Was everyone able to experience the phoenix rising up? Keep going, you're doing well. Brilliant. Yes, to experiencing the phoenix. Brilliant. Oh, rooted confidence through daily physical movement, trusting my creative practice, love the sense of soaring and heart warmth. It's such a beautiful feeling, isn't it? That soaring. It's one of my favorite things to experience, that expansion, that freedom. It's just quite special. Yes, beautiful Phoenix made me feel full of gratitude. Amazing. Beautiful. Lit my lit candle is dancing whilst on this. Brilliant. Amazing. It's lovely, isn't it, when the flames of the candles really respond to the energy around. I step into true soul wisdom, aligning my work to my purpose. Tools: spend time with the oaks for courage and strength, stretch, dance, and sing. Beautiful. Beautiful meditation, felt the wings in my arms. Amazing. And if you feel like you want to step into that power of transformation, one of the things that's really important is so often when we start to feel uncomfortable, we start to feel low, our shoulders go in, we cave in on our solar plexus and our heart, we shut ourselves down. And so one of the things about any bird, is that expansion. If you're imagining you've got wings, what do? Well, you expand, you open across your chest and your shoulders. So you're opening your solar plexus, you're opening your heart up, you're opening your throat. And as you expand out, you're saying, hey, world, I'm here, I'm ready. And so this feeling of expansion is actually energetically working to open up our energy centers so that we can be aligned. Because if I'm like this, I'm not very aligned. I'm crushing everything in on myself. Whereas this, can you feel the difference when I do that to when I do that? Instantly, there's an openness, there's a receptivity. And so if we're feeling like we want to be more open to change, to transformation, then pushing our shoulders back, opening out our chest, expanding, imagining like we've got wings and we're flying is such a beautiful experience. Someone said, I need community, a container, and rituals to connect to unseen support. Yeah, sometimes we feel like we have to do it all ourselves. And this comes back to the wolf, we need to have that connection with the earth. We need to have that solid grounding, but we also need those people around us who have similar feelings, who understand us, who we can communicate in this deeper way with, so that we can deepen our experience. If I feel like this is something that's so important, that the holding, so we can dive in, like that divine masculine creating the space around us so that we can all, whether we're man or woman, go into that deeper space of connection so we can activate this transformation on a regular basis. So this is, these are really the keys. And what I recommend you do is to take time to really think about, over the next couple of days, what are your fears? What are your doubts? What are you ready to release? And write these things down. What does your transformation look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And then how can you support yourself in maintaining this transformation? So these are the 3 key questions which we've answered now, but I invite you to take these on a deeper journey and really sit with them and journal. Spend maybe half an hour on this exercise if you want, or a bit longer, really going into this, because it's such an important thing. And within that, allowing the joy to come through, allowing the light, so it's not this dark, deep, heavy process of, sometimes it can feel like that, can't it? So put on maybe some light music, maybe move your body first, stretch, maybe do some singing. All of these things can free up our energy, like we've been talking about through day 1 and day 2. It's a stepping stone. All of these things are important steps to allow us to be in the space where we can step into this space of transformation. Does anyone have any questions? So what I would like to share with you all now is, if you would like to go further with all of this journey, then I'm starting on February the 4th my Earth Wisdom mentorship. It's a year program, and each month we meet twice a month via Zoom like this, and there's a private Telegram group where we can communicate, and we go on to something very similar like we've been doing, but we dive into each month a plant and a crystal, or a tree and an animal. So two things each month. So we start in February with birch and clear quartz, and we dive into that. And each month you get sent a gift so that you can really start working with the energies of these trees and crystals and plants and animals, so that you can dive into it so much deeper. So we've got a few weeks before this starts. There's a few spaces left. So if anyone would like to join me, please do message me and we can have a chat about it. There are concession rates. There's also payment schemes, so you can pay it over a year or 18 months. So I'd like to make it accessible for people. So if you are interested, I know a few of you are already doing it that are watching this, so that's amazing. So if you would like to know more, do drop me a message. Also, my new book is out. I know some of you have got it, 7 Magical Mushrooms, which is a really beautiful book that can take you on this journey. And there is a sale on my website currently on some of my favorite products. So my mushroom tincture, my Enlighten, the Goddess Vitality, and Stallion Power. So there's a few different things that are on there that are on sale. So if you do want to start working with the plants a little bit more to support your journey, then do have a look at those. Someone said, one of my fears is that I'll change and it won't be me. In the transformation, the thing is, your soul is always going to be you. Your soul never changes, but what we've done is we put all these layers on top that cover us up. So what we're doing is slowly peeling back those layers so we can see the truth of our being, so we can see that beautiful light that we are. And it's all choice. You know, if you take off a layer and then you go, I liked that layer, I want it back, you can just put it back on. But ultimately, when you get into your heart, when you get into your soul, you're not going to want to put a layer back on, because what is there is so much more radiant, incredible and magical than those layers that have been built up over time to protect us. So know that we have choice in everything we do. We always have choice. So if you want to bring it back on, you can. Someone said, yes, how long do Bach flower remedies keep, or similar remedies? Oh, they last forever, really. Bach flower remedies, they're incredible. And they're done in alcohol, so a tincture doesn't really go bad. And how long do they work? They can work with people in a few days. Sometimes it takes a week or 2 weeks. It depends on the sensitivity of the person. Someone said, what would help with my weight loss that you sell in your shop? What do you suggest to help? So it depends where the weight is from. A lot of weight comes from stress and being in fight or flight. So then working with things like Shilajit, so the goddess vitality, if it's hormonal, bringing the cortisol down allows us to find our optimum weight by bringing that cortisol down. So the Shilajit's good, the medicinal mushrooms are good. The All You Need is great for weight loss as well, because you're getting all your nutrients in. So if we give our body the nutrients it needs, if we remove the stress, then it allows our body to relax. And when your body starts to relax, it can come back into that balance weight-wise. But ultimately, it does kind of depend on what the underlying cause is. But hopefully that's answered your question a little bit on that one. Does anyone else have any other questions? If you want to unmute yourself now, you're more than welcome to unmute and ask your question. Sally, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's a little bit off subject, possibly. You know the event tomorrow morning at
Yes.
Missing Sock, yeah? What is it exactly?
So for those of you around the Cambridgeshire area, tomorrow morning from 10 to 12, there is a holistic networking business meeting. So it's a chance for people to meet. Everyone will have 90 seconds to share what their interest is, how they would like to connect with people. I'm doing a 15-minute talk on how we can transform our health and our business. Then there's a social time, And so that's really what it is. So it's going to be a really nice, informal, holistic business networking. So you don't have to have a holistic business. You can want to go and experience and connect with holistic business owners. So that's kind of what it's about tomorrow morning. Someone said, I used to have a massive challenge with yeast, and so I'm afraid of fungi. So would they be okay to take? Great question. So Candida is when we start working with the medicinal mushrooms, the bracket fungus, these actually help to get rid of candida. So they're pushing out these lower forms of fungi. So things like my mushroom tincture or these bracket fungus, these medicinal mushrooms are going to be fine because they're a different kind of thing. Hope that helps. Someone said, love Goddess Vitality tincture, really helped with my hormone balance. Yeah, Goddess Vitality is amazing. Someone said, can you put the Goddess Vitality in cacao or tea, or is it best in a cold drink? Goddess Vitality or Stallion Power for men is best 5 drops under the tongue, hold it there for 60 to 90 seconds, and then have a drink afterwards because it doesn't taste the most pleasant. But you can also put it into a hot or cold drink, doesn't matter. But the way you'll feel it the most is directly under the tongue, so it goes in sublingually. So I hope that's helped. Any other questions?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've asked you this before. I'll just ask again. When's the best time of day to take all you need, and with or without food?
You can take all you need at any time of the day, with or without food. It's doesn't matter. As long as you're getting it in, that's all that matters, because those nutrients are going into your body. So it's when it's best for you to take it. Generally, I have it in the morning or late morning because I don't eat straight away. But sometimes I don't, and I have it, if I'm going to go and do karate, I might have a smoothie before I go to karate. So it really doesn't matter at all. Hope that's answered your question. Can you eat it from a spoon dry? You can. It wouldn't be very pleasant. It'd be a bit like that. I recommend you mix it in with water, or milk of your choice, or stick it in a smoothie, put it in pancakes, put it in porridge. You can put it in salad dressing. There's so many recipes on the All You Need website. There's loads of recipes for how you can have it, but you can just simply mix it in water if you wanted. Any other questions? Yeah.
I've been thinking about buying some Bach flower remedies recently, and I get a bit worried that they're stored where they're affected by phones and etc. Do you have any idea the best place to get them from?
So is it Healing Hands? I think it's Healing Hands is my favorite. Healing Hands or Healing Herbs. Hang on, let me look it up. I'm not sure what it's called. Healing Hands remedies. Let's see if it's that. I think it's Healing Herbs. Healing Herbs. So Healing Herbs are my favorite. They do beautiful flower remedies that are really, really lovely, really effective, and they're kind of following Bach's original way he was doing them. So they've got great intentions, the company. So I would recommend them. They're my favorite, or making them yourself. And if you do want to learn to make tinctures and flower essences and crystal essences and learn those things, and we're going to be diving into that each month. We're going to be learning to make something different over the course of the year, which will be really exciting as well. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for being here. It's been lovely sharing these 3 days with you all. It's been a great pleasure. I could talk for days and days and days, but I hope that you've got a lot out of it. I hope it's been really beneficial and supportive on how you can really step into this new phase of your being. For any of you who don't know, my website is julietteBryant.com. You can connect with me on there, on Facebook, on all of those platforms. And the recording of this will be up so that you can listen to this whenever you choose. They're also, for all of you who might be interested and are localish, I run every 6 weeks or so a Wild Woman Retreat Day at my home in Suffolk The next one is the 2nd of February. And we're also putting on One Love Conscious Clubbing Night in Cambridge, which is the 31st of January, to celebrate In Bulk. So we've got two DJs. It's child friendly, all amazing superfoods there, no alcohol, no drugs. So there's going to be live music. It's going to be brilliant. So anyone wants to come, all the details are on my website. Someone said, thank you, Juliette. I'm really looking forward to joining the Earth Wisdom journey with you. Oh, me too. Thank you for organising this. Thank you, Juliette, feeling inspired. Brilliant. Thank you, beautiful. Someone says, I'll wait till it's warmer. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lovely to see you all. And any questions, please do type them into the group. Send me a message. Lovely to hear your experiences and your feedback from this. Someone said, thank you for the helpful workshop and taking the time to do it. It's been very insightful. Thank you so much, Juliette. Best wishes to everyone. Lots of love. Have a great evening and a great rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Bye.